What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican, here with a news article saying something that I've been telling you guys for quite some time, and that is that men are the builders and maintainers of society. So I got an article here from Breitbart News that I'll be reading from and dropping my commentary here and there, with a little bit of extra at the end, like always. Kick them out. Syrian women tell Europe to send men home. Syrian women are complaining that there are not enough men to rebuild the country and have told Europe and other Western countries that have absorbed their young men to kick them out and send them home. Journalist at Swedish public broadcaster SVT Johan Mattias Sommerstrom traveled to Damascus, Syria, and spoke to some of the students at the University of Damascus, 70% of whom he observed are women. Sounds like the West, doesn't it? Look around you. You just see women. The university, the streets, the cafes, just women, students Safa and Shima told Sommerstrom. Another student, Lena, also noted that the disproportion of the country's population, shattering the liberal illusion that the migrant waves of 2015 were comprised of women and children fleeing war. To solve the problem, the young student said that the Syrian government should issue amnesty to men who left the country to avoid military service so that they can help rebuild the country, pointing the finger at Western nations that took in all of the young male Syrians. The solution is to kick them out and get them to Syria, where they can start building the country again, said Lena. Okay, so let's go down to this whole egalitarian, equalist idea that women and men are equals. Why can't the women rebuild the country? I mean, they expect Europe, who did not take these men into their populations, into their countries out of humanitarian purposes, contrary to popular belief. They took them in to shore up the flailing and failing European populations because European women aren't having kids, and so they need population. And so they brought in all these guys and all these women, and they were like, just come over here and knock people up. By hook or by crook, they don't care if you make a bunch of baby mamas. They don't care if you make families. They don't care. Just as long as you increase the population. Why would they kick them out? They're spending massive amounts of money in keeping these guys here. They're not going to kick them out. So your arrogant hubris idea or Hubric idea that they're going to kick them out just because you want to be queen of the dung pile, and have guys build stuff that girl power should allow you to build yourself since we're all equals. Yeah, it's not going to happen. The Swedish broadcaster notes that before the conflict started 8 years ago, just over 4% of households in Syria were economically led by women. Now the figure is just over 22%, according to the survey by Tahrir Institute for Middle East Policy. Look at this. You look how they play games, man. It's like they say 4% of the households in Syria were economically led by women prior to the war. That means 96% of the households were run by men. Those poor 4%. And now it's 22%, which means, what is that? 78% of the households are still run by men. Oh my God. Women are suffering. Well, I'll tell you what. How about those 22% just go ahead and be co-wives, to the 78% out there who can handle their business. You know what I'm saying? All you women out there, go be co-wives to all these guys out there, those 78% of the guys that are left behind. Go be their co-wife. Gotta take care of you, That's what I thought. Some of the young women have seen this as a positive, much like women entering the workforce en masse in the West during the Great World War and World War II. The dearth of men has allowed the position of women to progress in the Muslim country. This doesn't really make a lot of sense. When you look at like Syria as a whole in the Middle East, Syria was one of the more progressive countries in terms of women's rights when it comes down to the Middle East as a whole. So that is not even a logical statement, but that's Breitbart being Breitbart, conservative, anti-Muslim immigrant, whatever else. I'm anti-immigrant too, but they just don't like Muslims. It can actually be a positive development. Previously, it was not accepted for women to work in certain areas, but now society is forced to accept it, and I think that's good, Safa said. In the future, we will see women who repair cars because women have to take traditional men's jobs to be able to support their family, she added. Why aren't they doing it now? They're talking about kick guys out of a country, which isn't practical because these countries took in these men in order to shore up the population, so they're not going to give them back. This is just like finders, keepers, losers, weepers. They got these guys. You're not going to get them back unless they want to come back. I got a solution for you, but we're going to get into that later. So why aren't women doing these jobs now? You're our equals. Girl power and all that stuff. Roll up your sleeve and make it happen. Go be a mechanic. Go be a construction worker. However, others like recent graduate Nabiha said that some type of work are not suitable for women. Why not? They all better than us or something? Graduate, yeah, you are better than us. You want to look down on us from your halo up there. You lowly construction workers. Let me ask you something. Let's just go on a whole different route. What's his incentive to come back? I'm going to give you an incentive for the guys to come back, but what's his incentive to come back anyway? You think the job is not appropriate for a woman, but it's appropriate for a man? What are you, your poo don't stink or something? You so much better than us? So let me ask you this. This guy, you want these guys to come back from Europe. Miss, this job is inappropriate. And then he starts working this job. He thinks you're fine and he hollers at you. No, I'm a graduate. You're working in this inappropriate construction job, you lowly sub-being. What is his incentive to come back? To hear the likes of you tell him that his job is inappropriate? Rebuilding the country? Ah, yes, you need someone to rebuild the country, yes. But, you don't want to incentivize him to come back and do it because you're hypergamy. Because hypergamy, yes. Well, anyway, look. Talk like that's not going to incentivize a guy to come back and rebuild the country. Why would he come back to that? It's not appropriate for me, but for you lowly men, ugh, you can do that work, you peasants. I mean, look at how you're talking. I wouldn't want to come back to a cunty douchebag like you either. You're pathetic. Anyway, many women also said that they fear not being able to marry and have a family because there are not enough men. There's enough men. There's that 78% of men running around the country taking care of business, man. Go jump on team. You can be co-wife. You can be number 2. You can be number 3. I'm sure he's not going to say no. Anyway. Daily News, blah, blah. End the article. Okay, so I said I was going to re-incentivize. I was going to give you a reason and a way to incentivize guys coming back. Because this whole, we just need you to come back and build this stuff while we take all the HR jobs and rule over you lowly men while we're graduates and you're those lowly construction workers. That whole ego attitude, that arrogant hubris that you're talking about, like if Europe's going to give back these guys after they just got them, they don't want to give them back. They'll sit there and fake and front and act like they don't want them, but you know what, they want them. But let me give you the incentive. Let's move into this. I'm just ranting. Syria is going to stabilize eventually. The war's going to end. It's going to end. It's already on that way right now. It's slowly slowing down, the war and the fighting and everything. Daesh, ISIS, whatever you want to call them, they've lost most of their footing and they're going to get bombed into nothingness. Alhamdulillah. But anyway, who bombed Syria? Israel, Russia, United States, Turkey. Iran was involved. Lebanon was involved. Jordan was involved. Qatar was involved. Saudi Arabia was involved. UAE dropped a couple of bombs here and there too. And I'm sure I missed somebody. I'm sure somebody came in and just did a flyby and was like, bang. That place has been bombed into the Stone Age. It's been bombed into the dirt. And that's why these university graduate girls who think that these jobs are inappropriate for women, want guys to come back and rebuild it. Well, here's the incentive to get your guys to come back. Guys, listen up. If you're a Syrian refugee, if you're a Westerner who has the ability to learn Arabic and wants to live amongst the Arabs back and forth between Europe and whatever else, here's the incentive to go over there and grab you a couple of these girls. Turn the 78% into 88% and grab you a couple of them girls. Because them Syrian girls are fine as hell. This is what you do. They are. This is what you do. Learn a skill. HVAC, engineering, construction, electrician, plumbing, roofing. Learn any of the traditional building skills. And you know what you're going to have when you get there? A hellified business that is doing well. Because, again, that place has been bombed into the dirt. That place has been bombed into the Stone Age. Everybody wants running water in the toilet. Nobody wants to go outside and dig a hole and pee and poo outside. Nobody wants to do that. So someone's going to need a toilet built. Someone's going to need toilets. Someone's going to have to import that stuff. Someone's going to have to install that stuff. And if you got that skill, you know what you got? You got a hellified business. You're an electrician. Guys want to have electricity and light and internet and all sorts of other stuff. If you are someone who learned internet wiring, you just learned the hardware of it. Wiring up electricity in people's households. You know what you're going to make? You're going to make a bunch of money putting electricity in people's houses because you know what? People have bombed out houses and cities there. Same thing goes for anything else. Roofing to any traditional construction skill. Go there and don't be a worker. Open a business. That's what Syrian dudes are going to do. That's what Syrian dudes should do. And then they'll get what they want because they're going to have all the money without having to go through all the years of study. Because you can learn a trade like that in 3 years. You don't have to go to 4 years university and then make less money than a guy who learned a trade like building stuff. Because you know what? Guys are the builders and maintainers of societies. And these women in this article have proved it yet again. They don't have the capacity nor the desire to build society. And you know what this is? This is globally amongst women. So ladies of Syria, do what you do best. Shut your mouth, be quiet, and be pretty. And some guy is going to come along and he's going to be a builder and a constructor and whatever else. And he's going to be balling out of control. And all you got to do is shut your stupid mouth, your goofy, dumb mouth, talking about your lowly job. And he's going to take care of you. But if you come out with that douchebaggery out of your mouth like that, you know, that country out of your mouth, oh, those lowly jobs are not appropriate for women. It's appropriate for you lowly men with your hair, you know, with your beards. Well, then you know what? I don't blame dudes for staying in Europe. I really don't. I don't care how good you look. I'd want to avoid the likes of you too. You know what? The simple fact is, if a lot of y'all didn't, well, if all of y'all didn't have hoo-has, dudes probably wouldn't talk to you. They just really wouldn't. Who'd want to talk to you with an attitude like that? Kick them out. Kick them out. Can you just imagine living with a woman like that? You know, just look at the arrogance of it. She can't even be appealing. These women can't even be appealing. Please come home. We're waiting for you. Can you just be at least fake seductive? You can't even do that. This is how arrogant women have become. This is the hubris of modern women. I don't care where you go in the world. You can't even act like you're being seductive. No, kick them out. Your lowly jobs. Just a bunch of nagging cunts. God. Guys, put yourself first. Put yourself first. You know what? I don't blame you guys for coming to Europe. You weren't escaping the war. You were escaping them douchebag women. The war of the house. Anyway, it's gone into 12 minutes. This is your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that Abuamerican. I'm out.
Who wants to fight? Aha. I'm only taking the brave. I'm not taking the scary. I'm not taking no girls. Are you ready to fight?